Today's show is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audio download and a 30-day free trial by going to audibletrial.com/WTS Sports Quiz today. For the listeners of this very podcast, you have access to over 180,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, your Android, Kindle, or your MP3 player as well. That, once again, is audibletrial.com/WTS Sports Quiz. Sign up for a free audio download and a 30-day free trial today.
Broadcasting from the Attention Era Media Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe, the man whose main use of baseball bats these days is preparing for his Halloween costume. I'll be going as that one guy from The Purge, you know, the one with the mask.
Oh, jeez. It's a little dark, Game Master.
Well, yeah. Anyway, here's the man who always hits it out of the park, the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
I'm a little scared now. No, just kidding. Thank you, everybody.
It's a costume.
It's a costume.
It's a costume.
Yeah, I'm sure they are until you start killing people. Holy cow. Either way, we're so excited to have all of you here. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We have 3 new panelists joining us as they get to experience the exciting yet chaotic atmosphere that is What's the Score. Today's also a theme show. Today's theme is the World Series. Seemed very fitting, of course, since Game 1 is just a couple of days away. The teams have made great runs, and we're excited to see who will be crowned the Kings of October once again. If you'd like to hit a home run on our show, why don't you come and be a contestant? Just go visit our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com, and sign up today.
You can also find the show on demand on iHeartRadio, the Sports Podcasting Network, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, and Vavel USA.
All right, let's meet our panelists this week. 3 new ones, which is always a good time. First up, he is the goalkeeper for the Milwaukee Torrens soccer team. Please welcome Nick Berry.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Next up, she is an on-field host for the Lakeshore Chinooks and a broadcaster for Lakeland University. It's Annalise Jasinski.
Hello. Well, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well, Annalise. And finally, he is a writer for Titletown Sound Off and the co-host of the Titletown Sound Packers podcast. It's James Korsmo.
Howdy, y'all.
Welcome to this part of the country there, James. Good to see you.
Why, thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, welcome to the show panel. It's great to see 3 new faces on the panel as well. Game Master Scheibe, are any of you a little nervous for what you're about to experience, or just going to roll with the punches?
Roll with it.
Roll with it, I guess.
We're excited.
There we go.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Let's do it.
It's time to get this show on the road with our first contestant game. Joining us on the phone to play higher or lower is Adam Spangenthal. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Hi, hello.
All right, Adam, you are going to be playing our first game, as we mentioned, called Higher or Lower. You are going to be given 5 different questions about things taking place in World Series knowledge, the World Series world as a whole, and you must tell us if the answer is higher or lower than the 2 options that we give you. Correctly answer 3 out of 5 questions, and you will win a What's the Score prize. If you do get stuck, you can ask one of our panelists as well for a hint, but only on 1 question. Are you ready to play, sir?
Sure, I'm ready.
All right, here is your first one. Babe Ruth was a pitcher at one time, and he holds the records for the most innings thrown in a single World Series game at 14. He did that back in 1916. Is that number higher or lower than the total number of home runs Mickey Mantle has hit in the World Series?
Higher.
That is incorrect. No, actually. Mickey Mantle hit 18 home runs in World Series play. He's the all-time leader in that category as well. Here is your next question.
Yogi Berra is the all-time leader in doubles hits in World Series games with a total of 10. Is that higher or lower than the number of times that the Cincinnati Reds have played in the World Series?
Higher.
That is correct. Yes. The Reds have played in the World Series 9 times. All right, here's your next one. Sticking with Yogi Berra, because he's obviously just so cool. He also has the record for the most singles hit in the World Series. He has 49 singles in World Series play. Is that number higher or lower than the number of World Series titles won by the National League?
Higher.
That is correct. Yes. The National League, 47 World Series titles. We'll have to see if they can do it this year. All right, here is your next one.
The next one's about Reggie Jackson, whose name is almost synonymous with World Series. He is Mr. October, after all, and the guy was amazing on the biggest stage of them all. With 2 World Series MVP awards, he's tied for the all-time lead. Is 2 higher or lower than the number of home runs Reggie Jackson hit on the first pitch in the 1977 World Series?
Lower.
That is correct, yes. In that very infamous Game 6 on the 1977 series, he hit all 3 home runs on the first pitch. It's incredible. All right, here is your final question, Adam. The New York Yankees have won plenty of World Series titles, as many folks know. What people might not realize, though, is that they have swept an opponent in the World Series 8 times. Is that number higher or lower than the number of times the Oakland A's have appeared in the World Series?
That is higher.
That is correct, yes. The Oakland A's have been to the series 6 times. They've been there back-to-back appearances as well. Game Master Scheibe, how did Adam do on our quiz?
He got 4 out of 5 correct. He's a winner.
Hey, nicely done. Congratulations, and thanks so much for playing, sir.
Looks like we're heading to our first break now, but when we come back, our panelists will have their first crack at showcasing their knowledge of World Series history. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz.
So you're sitting at home probably right now thinking, hey, you know what? What's the Score? Sounds like a really fun show. I'm really enjoying my time listening. But you know what you're not doing? You're not signing up to be a contestant, and we want you to do that. Go to our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com, and click on the contact form, or fill out the contestant form on the front page of the website, or go visit us on Facebook, What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, or on Twitter, at WTS Sports Quiz, and click on one of the social media posts that have Be a Contestant. You could win a great prize. You get to talk to Game Master Scheibe. You get to talk to me. You just get to have sports news quiz fun at the highest level. It seems like a pretty obvious thing, so why are you still listening? Go do that right now. Go be a contestant on What's the Score. We need you. But seriously, though, thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. This week, our panelists are Nick Berry, Annalise Jasinski, and James Korsmo. And now, here's your host at the Attention Era Media Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Time now for our panelists to showcase their knowledge about the World Series and some things that have taken place over the many years that the World Series has occurred. James, we will start with you. Your question will be centered around, when was the very first World Series? Do you know when the very first World Series took place, sir?
I'm going to go with 1903.
Yes, that is correct. 1903. A very interesting and pivotal time, of course, for the United States of America, and having the addition of baseball certainly helped bring the country together as well.
Annalise, the next one's for you. The World Series record for walks in a single series is owned by which controversial figure?
You can ask for a hint as well, too.
Can I have a hint?
You can have a hint. He spent most of his career playing for the San Francisco Giants.
Ooh.
And also did get into trouble, as we mentioned, controversially, due to things that he did off the field.
I can't think of it right now.
Barry Bonds is who we were looking for, yes. It's very interesting, too. You forget about Barry Bonds nowadays, I feel like. I mean, I know he's retired, of course, but it's a man that had such a big impact on the game that didn't do a whole lot, though, towards the end, but steroids do kind of got him.
Well, and that's the thing. The name these days conjures up more the controversy rather than any achievements that he had.
Because people that nowadays weren't really familiar with him when he was playing back in the day. All right, Nick, a question over to you, sir. The saves became an official statistic. Very fitting, of course, because you're a goalkeeper. It became an official statistic in MLB back in 1969. Since that time, who has recorded the most saves in World Series history?
I'm going to go with Mariano Rivera.
Yes, that is correct. Mariano Rivera just retired, I believe it was last year, the year before, something like that. A very dynamic and incredible closer as well.
Well, we're heading to a break, but when we come back, our second contestant will have a chance to play one of our new games. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. What's the Score would like to take this time to thank one of our partners, Vavel USA, the international online sports newspaper, for their support. Head over to vavel.com/en-us today as they provide professional reporting on all major sports in the USA. Follow them on Twitter at Vavel_USA and go like their Facebook page for prime access to the ultimate source for sports coverage on the web. We here at What's the Score are proud to partner with a terrific organization like Vavel USA.
Well, hey, everybody, this is Baxter. I just want to take a quick minute to point something out. We've been on the air for almost a year. It's amazing how long this show has actually been going on with all the other stuff that we have going on in our lives. But Game Master Scheibe and I have worked really hard, and we are thrilled to continue to be on the air. But there's one thing that we haven't done a lot of so far. We haven't done a lot of live shows. So if you're sitting at home right now thinking to yourself, you know, I really would like a great sports news trivia quiz show to come and do a live event at my church, at my fair, at my restaurant, at whatever, why not contact us? We'd love to come out and do it. Send us an email, wtsportsquiz@gmail.com, or visit the contact form on our website, wtsportsquiz.com. We'd love to chat with you and figure out if we can't come and do some crazy sports news trivia fun with you. All right, enough of this. Let's get back to the action. Game Master Scheibe, take it away.
Hello all, and welcome back to the Attention Era Media Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. We got a great panel here for you this week. It's Annalise Jasinski, James Korsmo, and Nick Berry, and they'll have the opportunity to show their prowess in just a little bit. Before that, though, here's the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Coming up, we do put our panelists to the test in our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. If you would like to play our games on the air, we encourage you to visit our website, wtsportsquiz.com, and sign up today.
Playing our next game is Rachel Wood. Welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you.
All right, Rachel, as you may or may not know, the World Series is the time of year that all baseball fans learn to love or hate, depending on the team that you support, of course.
In this game, which we're calling World Series 101, we'll ask you 5 questions about the World Series, and you must answer at least 3 of them correctly. If you do, you'll win a What's the Score prize. If you get stuck, you can ask one panelist for a hint on only one question, so make sure you choose wisely. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll find out shortly, I guess. All right, here's your first question. What year was the World Series first played in? Was it A, 1903, B, 1776, or C, 1812?
I'm going to go with A.
Yes, that is correct. 1903.
Yes.
Played between...
1 for 1.
There you go. You're starting off strong. I love it. Here's your next question.
Okay.
Which franchise has won the most World Series all time? Was it A, the New York Yankees, B, the Baltimore Orioles, or C, the Milwaukee Brewers?
As much as I hate to give this as the answer because I live in Boston, I'm going to go with the Yankees.
Yes, that is correct. The New York Yankees. Love it. All right, here's your next one. What is the average Major League Baseball team worth? Is it A, A-Rod's salary, as everybody knows, is a couple $1 million, B, $1.3 billion, or C, $1 trillion?
I'm going to go with B.
Are you sure? You stuttered there. I want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know. See, I'm just nervous because 3 for 3 is like, I have a fear of success.
Sounds like a personal problem. I'm sorry about that.
I know. I'm sorry that I'm bringing my personal into my professional life. But yes, I'm going to go with B.
Okay, yes, you are correct. Nicely done. $1.3 billion. All right, here's your next question.
What is the longest World Series game in history? Was it
God. Okay.
Was it the Dodgers versus the Red Sox, Game 2 in 1916, the Twins versus the Oakland Athletics, Game 5 of 1995, or C, the Dodgers versus the Mariners, Game 2 in 1977?
I can ask a panelist, right?
You can, yes. Would you like to use that hint?
I would love to use that hint.
Okay, would you like to talk to Nick, James, or Annalise for a hint?
Who knows the most about baseball?
No, that's not a fair question. You have to pick one and hope for the best. I can give you a hint on a panelist if you'd like. Nick is a soccer player if you want to use the soccer connection. James is more of a sporty guy, and Annalise also works in baseball as well.
I'm going to go with Annalise then.
Okay, we'll give you to Annalise.
Oh,
All right,
man.
Annalise, how can you help Rachel on this question?
Alrighty. Well, the longest game. Either of these two teams haven't played in the World Series in a very long time.
That is a very good hint. Yes, indeed it is. Do you want your options given to you one more time?
Yes, please.
Okay. What are they, Game Master Scheibe?
A is Dodgers versus the Red Sox in Game 2 of 1916. B is the Twins versus the Oakland Athletics in Game 5 of 1995. Or C, Dodgers versus Mariners, Game 2 of 1977.
I'm gonna go with B.
That is incorrect. No, unfortunately, it was the Dodgers-Red Sox. Boston ended up beating the Brooklyn Dodgers 2-1 in a 14-inning game back in Game 2.
Oh, the Brooklyn Dodgers? I thought they were from LA.
Well, they started in Brooklyn, and then they went to LA. It's very complicated. Nobody really knows what the Dodgers are doing. Now that Vince Scully's gone, no one cares about the Dodgers anymore. Anyway, all right, here is your next question.
I already won the prize, though, right?
It is true you have, but you have one. You have one final question. Okay, are you ready? All right.
Yep.
Who won the World Series back in 2015? Was it A, the Chicago Cubs, B, the New York Mets, or C, the Kansas City Royals?
Just Kansas City Royals.
Yes, that is correct. Well done. Game Master Scheibe, how did Rachel do on our quiz?
Rachel got 4 out of 5 correct. She's a winner!
Hey, nicely done. Congratulations, Rachel. We appreciate you playing. All right, panel, some more questions for you about this past week's sports news. Annalise, we will give you a quote, and you must tell us who that... We'll give you a little follow-up to that quote as well, and you must tell us who that player is, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, so your quote is, I've always got nerves the night we played in the World Series. First pitch, I was nervous. Then after that, I forgot, and I started playing. That quote is from a legend of the game of baseball, a man of many World Series records, probably the best known as a man of numerous memorable quotes as well, such as that one. Who is that man?
I probably can't think of the right name for him right now, but I'm guessing Robin Yount.
It is not Robin Yount, unfortunately. No, Yogi Berra, actually. Yes, a man of many famous quotes. And I was going to give you the hint. He has a cartoon named from Yogi.
There you go.
Berra. Yes. Is there any relation? No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to play that.
Let's hope not.
Exactly.
All right, Nick, the next one's for you. The quote is, the only reason I don't like playing in the World Series is I can't watch myself play. Who is the man known as Mr. October that gave us that quote?
That'd be one Reggie Jackson.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you want to be in the World Series, but I mean, you can't watch yourself play. We don't have that kind of technology, especially when he played as well too. Is that overconfidence, or I don't know how do you view something like that?
I don't know. I think at that point, once you reach a high enough level, you have to have a certain level of arrogance.
I guess so.
People are going to come and challenge you, and you have to have confidence in yourself.
Do you wish that you could watch yourself play instead of being on the actual field?
Personally, no. I think I'd fall asleep, to be honest with you.
Watching yourself play. I mean, as a goalkeeper in soccer, sometimes
I do a lot of standing.
It's true, yeah.
But no, I definitely love playing more than watching.
Fair enough. All right, final question. This round goes to you, James. Bill Wamsghan is the only person who has ever done what in a World Series? Only player to ever do what?
Do I get a hint?
You do get a hint. Would you like to use your hint?
I would love to use my hint.
Okay. This is usually something that involves at least 3 players to accomplish.
A triple play?
Yes, that is correct. He has the only unassisted triple play. A rather odd thing.
Wow.
Somehow he managed to pull it off. But yes, Bill Wamsghan's the only person to do an unassisted triple play. It's already hard enough to do with all your teammates, let alone unassisted as well at the same time.
It's time for another break, but don't worry, we'll be right back, and our panelists will have another chance to answer some questions about World Series history. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz.
Hey guys, this is Baxter. I want to take a quick minute to let you know that we've changed a couple of things here at What's the Score. The show will no longer be broadcast live on Sunday afternoon or evenings anymore. Instead, you can find the show every Monday morning on demand, right at your fingertips at 8 a.m. Central Time. Go and download it on iTunes, visit us on Spreaker.com, or go to our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com, to get the most recent show and past shows as well. The best way to keep in touch with everything that What's the Score is doing. So once again, no more live shows, but go and download it, iTunes, Spreaker.com, and What's the Score? WTSSportsQuiz.com.
James Korsmo of TitletownSoundoff.com here with the man they call Bobo.
Howdy.
And we want to tell you a bit about our podcast, Titletown Sound.
We're fans of the Green Bay Packers, as I'm sure many of you are, and we know there are plenty of opinions out there, but we think we give you some unique takes that vary between the level-headed and sensible, all the way to the entertainingly absurd.
That's our specialty, the entertainingly absurd.
Sure is. We've got other hosts to talk sensible-like.
So the website is Titletown Sound Off, and the podcast is Titletown Sound?
That's right.
So the podcast just leaves off the off.
Yes.
So fans of the Packers should go in to TitletownSoundoff.com to get into the podcast.
Exactly.
That's a lot of prepositions.
Sure is, James. It sure is. Now back to two of my favorite prepositions on the interwebs, Baxter and Josh.
Those are nouns.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, and thanks for listening in. We're broadcasting from the Attention Era Media Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe, and we're playing this week with James Korsmo, Nick Berry, and Annalise Jasinski. And here, once again, is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. As we continue on with the show, we want to, of course, remind all of you that you can find our show anytime by going to iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com, iTunes, Stitcher, and, of course, the Sports Podcasting Network as well.
It's time for our last slate of questions for our panelists this week. Nick, aside from it being called the World Series, what else is it identified as?
I don't think I'm going to have to use my hint here.
It is played in this time of year, one of the 4 seasons. This is
Fall Classic.
Yes, that is correct. The World Series, better known as the Fall Classic, as it were. I think it's very fitting. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm going to be the first person to say I think the baseball season's way too long. You don't need to play 162 games. You can get it all sorted out in 40 games, 30 games, 16 games. The NFL plays 16 games, and nobody complains about that. I mean, does 162 games seem like it's too much?
There are like those dog days of August and September where
or just like 4 or 5 month span.
Right.
You can stop anytime. You can stop.
I'm kind of impartial about it, though, personally.
Really?
Yeah, I think 162 is a lot. I think they should, if they were to shorten the season, I think 148 would be a good number.
Still about 100 too many, personally.
But I think part of the the American pastime is going to a baseball game on a Sunday.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, so if you only have, say, you cut the season in half, 100 or 81 games or whatever it is, I think you lose a lot of that summer pastime.
I think I certainly agree with that. I mean, Annalise, you work in baseball over the summer times as well too. If you're, I know it's not 162 games that the team that you work for
but still, it's
is a
5
part
days
of.
on, 5 days off, so it does get a little draggy.
I think it would be
times.
more marquee if you had only like 2 or 3 games a week. That would be like, oh my gosh, we've only got 2 games this week or 3 instead of like 5 or 6. Like just a chunk of games is like, all right, too much. I think it gets saturated down. I feel like.
Yeah, and the players need a break too. You can tell they're getting a little exhausted at the end of the series.
Exactly. Yeah.
I personally love it.
Do you?
I'd go for 200 if I could. Why not?
More power to you. I
Why
guess,
not? It's baseball's great. I love it. It's the pastime for a reason, and a lot of people don't see it that way anymore. But baseball was my first love for sports when I was a kid, and football's overtaken that now, I think. But baseball is still, to me, it's something that I can fall back on when I need something to watch or do or wind down. There's always a baseball game on in the summer. So.
No, I completely agree. All right, James, we'll stick with you here on this next question. Since the World Series started back in 1903, how many times has it not taken place since it began back in 1903?
Once?
No, unfortunately. Twice. You were very close. You had half the answer right, but no, twice actually. 1904 and then 1994 as well. Everybody remembers the player strikes that took place back in 1994 as well. So,
do I get half the point?
Sorry.
No, I was going to say. I was like, I'm assuming not in that situation.
Can't blame me for trying.
Fair enough. All right.
All right, Annalise, the last one's for you. There's one player that's played in both the Super Bowl and the World Series. Who is that?
Oh, man, I totally know this name, and I don't know what's up with me tonight, but I can't think of anything. Can I have a hint?
He made his name playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Very outspoken player on the defense. Usually wore a bandana.
Yeah, I know who this is, but I can't think of the name. I can't think of it.
Deion Sanders. That's who it was. Deion Sanders. Prime time. Yes, exactly. I think that's an incredible feat that you have the athletic ability to play at the highest level in two major sports. I mean, I can barely tie my shoes in the morning, let alone try to even fathom trying to play in two major leagues at the same time. I think that's absolutely incredible from him. But, you never know. I guess the sports world is an ever-changing scenario.
Well, folks, it's time for me to break up the fun once again. But when we come back, our final contestant will play another one of our new games. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz.
Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn. Just want to take a quick minute to remind all of you to go check us out on social media. You can go find us on Facebook by searching for What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. And while you're on our Facebook page, why not invite some of your friends to come like our Facebook page as well? You can go and check out all the great recordings that we do, behind-the-scenes pictures. You can see the different videos we do with a lot of our panelists as well, and just get to know What's the Score a little bit better as well. Also, go check us out on Twitter, at WTS Sports Quiz, and at WTS Sports Quiz on Instagram as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the three most powerful things on the social media spectrum right now, and What's the Score is on all of them. Go and check us out today.
Welcome back, everyone. This is What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. Our Name 5 panelist showdown is coming up, but first, we have a game about unfortunate records. Here to get the game going is your host at the Attention Era Media Studios here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Baxter Colburn!
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. We've had a great show. We want to remind all of you, of course, to go and check out our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com. Check out our panelist leaderboard, past episodes, staff bios, and so much, much more.
Time now to welcome in our final contestant. Playing our final game is Jeff Scheibe. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Josh.
I love it. Welcome
How you
to the
doing
show,
today?
Jeff. Good to see you. All right, Jeff, as you know, sometimes in baseball you get fooled by a pitch. You swing at the worst time of your life. You somehow make contact with that one ball and it falls in for a base hit. Other times you just absolutely don't know what to do. You throw a no-hitter, and sometimes you still end up losing the game by 4 runs. You never really know what's going to happen in the sport of baseball, I feel like.
In this game, which we're calling Unfortunate Records, you'll have 5 chances to answer at least 3 questions correctly. Do that, and you'll win What's the Score prize. If you get stuck, you can ask one panelist for a hint on one question, but choose wisely. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, here is your first question. The lovable losers, known, of course, as the Chicago Cubs, are well known for their championship drought. When is the last time that the Cubs actually won the World Series? Was it A, 1908, B, 1913, or C, 1929?
I'll say 1913.
That is incorrect. No, unfortunately. 1908, actually, was the last time that they won. They have been to the World Series 7 times in that time period and have lost all of them, obviously. Here's your next question.
This Yankees Hall of Famer holds the record for most strikeouts and most innings pitched in his World Series career, but is also saddled with the record for most losses in the World Series with 8. Was it A, Whitey Ford, B, Randy Johnson, or C, Andy Pettitte?
I'm going to say C, Andy Pettitte.
No, that is incorrect, unfortunately. Whitey Ford, actually. He has the most wins with 10, actually. Kind of crazy, that's for sure. All right, here's your next one. Who is the only person to be ejected more than once from the World Series? Is it A, Billy Martin, B, Bobby Cox, or C, Earl Weaver?
I'm going to ask the panelists for a hint.
Would you like to talk to Annalise, James, or Nick for a hint?
I'll ask James.
All right, James, how can you help our friend out?
Okay, well, this manager spent most of his managing career managing the Atlanta Braves. And he retired I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. So Billy Martin, Bobby Cox, or Earl Weaver?
Bobby Cox.
Yes, that is correct. Bobby Cox. Braves manager, was ejected in the 92 and 96 World Series. Martin was also ejected back in 76. Weaver and 69. So a couple of those guys all sharing in that similar feat, but Bobby Cox doing it one more time better than the rest. Here's your next question.
Max Carey set a World Series record in 1925 for being hit by pitches in a single series. How many times was he hit in that series? Was it A, 3, B, 6, or C, 10?
I'm going to say 10.
No, unfortunately not. It was 3, which still sounds painful, though. I mean, if you're getting hit by a pitch even more than one time, I just feel like, no thank you. That's why I didn't play baseball. I was terrified of getting hit by a pitch. That's why I played sports like soccer, that I got hit in the face with a soccer ball instead.
Right.
It's totally different.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I was a kicker in football. I didn't get hit very often. All right, here's your final question, Jeff. This team fell victim to the only perfect game thrown in the World Series back in 1956. Was it A, the Pittsburgh Pirates, B, the Milwaukee Braves, or C, the Brooklyn Dodgers?
Well, I know it wasn't the Braves.
You're halfway there.
So I'm going to say it was the Dodgers.
Yes, that is correct. The Brooklyn Dodgers. Don Larson Prue said perfect game. Game Master Scheibe, how did your father, Jeff, do on the game?
He got 2 out of 5 correct today. Unfortunately, not a winner.
Oh, well, thank you so much for playing, Jeff. Either way, we appreciate you being on the show this afternoon.
Before we move on, I do want to note that James gets an additional point for the successful hinting game.
Hey, nicely done, James. Very important with the Name 5 Panelist Showdown just around the corner as well.
Well, that moment you've been waiting for is almost here. Stick around and listen to our panelists duke it out on the Name 5 Panelist Showdown coming up right after the break. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. Hello all, I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master here at What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. Thanks for listening in. I may not know much about sports, but what I do know about are our social media pages. Check us out on Facebook at What's the Score, or Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everybody, just want to take a quick minute to remind you to go and check out our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com. It has all the latest information about WTS and everything that's going on. Find out more information about Game Master Scheibe. Check out the blog section to see what our latest articles are. Or even go and check out our panelist leaderboard, our archive, and all the numerous other things that you can find by visiting us at WTS Sports Quiz. And if you want to be a contestant, why not fill out our contact form or our contestant form and let us know if you want to be a part of our terrific show today. Thanks so much for listening, and let's get back to the action.
Hello and welcome back. Thanks for listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. Our panelists have been warming up for their final showdown. While they get ready, here's your host at the Attention Era Media Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Coming up, as we mentioned, we do put our panelists to the test in our Name 5 Panelist Showdown, of course, which is just around the corner. We've had a fantastic show. It has been a World Series-themed show, which has been absolutely exciting. As always, we have another theme show coming up for you next week. It is our Halloween theme show. We will be all spooky, and apparently Game Master Scheibe will have a mask on and a bat, so thank God this is radio, because I would probably be crying in the corner the whole time. Either way, Game Master Scheibe, what time is it now, sir?
It's time for the Name 5 Panelist Showdown. Our panelists will be given 4 topics in which they will have 10 seconds to name 5 people, teams, places, or things related to the sports world. Each panelist will have the same category, however, they cannot repeat answers. 1 point is awarded for each correct answer.
Game Master Scheibe, can you give us the scores, please?
I can. Annalise right now has 0 points, and Nick and James are tied with 3.
Oh, all right. So Annalise has got a little bit of ground to make up, but there's still plenty of time to do that. All right, Annalise, you'll be leading us off. You'll be naming 5 Major League Baseball teams with 10 seconds. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, and begin.
All right, Brewers, Cardinals, Cubs, Yankees, White Sox.
Nope, that's 5. That's all you need is 5. There you go. She got 5. Nicely done. All right, James, over to you. Remember, you cannot repeat answers. 10 seconds and begin.
Mariners, A's, Rangers, Astros, and we'll go with the Detroit Tigers.
There you go. He got 5 as well. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, Nick, over to you. 10 seconds and begin, sir.
The Dodgers, the San Francisco Giants, Boston Red Sox, Miami Marlins, and Houston Astros.
There you go.
I believe James said
yes.
Astros.
James said the Astros. Yep. So Nick will get 4. There you go. Hey, you still got 4 though, which is still a good one. All right, James, we'll go over to you. We'll be going to you. We'll be naming 5 baseball terms. So as we know, baseball has a lot of lingo, a lot of things associated with the sport. It can be as simple or as chaotic as you like it to be. All right, 10 seconds and begin.
No hitter, perfect game, single, triple, home run.
There you go. You got 5. You got to stop at 5. There you go. He got 5. Nicely done.
It's hard to stop a train when it's moving.
Exactly. All right, Nick, over to you. 10 seconds and begin.
Home run, grand slam, triple play, fly ball, ground ball.
There you go. He got 3. All right.
Froze.
Yep.
Froze up there.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
Annalise,
headlights.
10 seconds and begin.
A strike, a ball, a walk.
Nothing else? Nothing else. All right. So she got 3. She got 3. All right. Let's move on to the third round. Nick, we will start with you. 10 seconds. You'll have to name 5 teams that have red in their logo. Okay, there's a bunch of Major League Baseball teams that have red in their logo color scheme jerseys. All right, 10 seconds and begin.
The Cubs, the Red Sox, the Cincinnati Reds, the Texas Rangers, and...
You got 4. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, Annalise, over to you. 10 seconds and begin.
The Diamondbacks. The Yankees.
Technically.
They do, yeah.
A little bit.
The Yankees.
2. All right, 2 for Annalise. All right, James, still a decent amount of teams to choose from. 10 seconds and begin, sir.
The Cardinals, the... This is hard.
Welcome to What's the Score? Only 1 for James. All right, as we go into the final round, Game Master Scheibe, can you give us the scores, please?
Annalise has 10 points, and James and Nick are tied at 14.
Oh, all right. So we are kind of back to where we go then. All right. So Annalise will be leading us off in our final round. You will have 10 seconds to name as many of. Okay, so when you guys had the train rolling there before, you can keep the train a-chugging for 10 seconds, okay? You'll have 10 seconds to name as many of current Major League Baseball players, okay? 10 seconds to you first, Annalise, and begin.
Chris Davis, Ryan Braun, Jonathan Lucroy.
Ooh, all right. 3 for Annalise. All right, Game Master Scheibe, should we go to James or Nick next since they're tied? I'll let you flip the coin.
Goes to Nick.
All right, well done, Nick. All right, 10 seconds. You and James are tied currently, so as many as you can, obviously. All right, 10 seconds. As many as you can of current Major League Baseball players. Begin.
David Ross, Anthony Rizzo, Troy Tulowitzki,
Ooh, all right, 3 for Nick as well. All right, as we go to James, what does James need to tie or win?
3 to tie and 4 to win.
All right, James, and obviously if you know more than 4, you can keep on rolling as well, too. All right, 10 seconds and begin.
Jonathan VR, Kirk Neuenhuis, Chris Bryant, and we're going to go with Maldonado.
Oh, he didn't get it, which means we have a tie currently, don't we, Game Master Scheibe?
We do. They're tied at 17.
All right, so our tiebreaker will be just between Nick and James to see, because we have points we have to divvy out, so we need to see who gets the first and second place. So, Game Master Scheibe, flip a coin again, please, for us.
Goes to James this time.
All right, luck of the coin flip goes to James. Our tiebreaker, you have 10 seconds to name as many of current NFL teams, or just NFL teams. All right, 10 seconds, and begin.
Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, Oakland Raiders, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans.
All right, he got 9. All right, so Nick, you have to get better than 9. You cannot tie him. Okay, if you tie, James wins. So you have to get 10 or more to win. All right? 10 seconds, and begin.
The Minnesota Vikings, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, Miami Dolphins, Houston
Oh, he only got 7. Is that correct? So, Game Master Scheibe, what are the final scores?
I'm tallying them 1 second. Sorry.
You don't have instant math for me,
No,
Game Master
I'm sorry.
Scheibe? How long have we been doing this show? This is 39 shows we've been doing, Game Master Scheibe.
Has it been that many?
Do I need to continue to yell at you while you continue to tally to buy you more time?
That really, really does help. Thank you. I
Your
appreciate
shoes
it.
are weird.
All right,
Your
I
hair
think I'm
is
good.
funny. Oh, good.
You're very helpful.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
it.
So what are the scores?
The final scores are Annalise in third with 13 points, Nick in second with 24, and James is the winner with 26 points.
Hey, nicely done. Congratulations. James, we'll start with you. We always do a little chat with our panelists after the fact. Your first time on the show. What's the theme show? You didn't get the full What's the Score experience, of course, but you still got a pretty good taste of it. What'd you make of your first time on the show?
This is a blast, man. This is great, and I really appreciate being you guys bringing me on. This is fun.
Absolutely. We would love to have you back sometime if it works out. Nick, you were so close this week. Almost pulled out that victory at the end, but what'd you make of your first What's the Score experience?
It was awesome. I had never done anything like this. I was excited to come in. I'm a big baseball fan. I played all through high school and played a year in college, so it was good to get back, and especially with the Fall Classic coming up. I was excited. It was a good show.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you being on. And Annalise as well, too, making your debut. You were a contestant a couple of weeks ago, as folks may remember as well. What did you make of your first time on the show?
Oh, it was fun with the Chinook season being done a while ago and baseball season almost being done in a week or so. It's going to be... it was a really, really good time, so I had fun tonight.
Well, we are glad to have you on the show as well. What's the Score has been a production of the Sports Podcasting Network. A very special thanks to our contestants and studio audience here at the Attention Era Media Studios. Our panelists this week have been Annalise Jasinski, James Korsmo, and Nick Berry. Our social media producer is Tony Larson. Our social media staff is comprised of Emily Heffler and Christian Gill. Our theme was composed by Danny Hoffenstein. Our show producers were Caleb Pearson and David Bobke. And the executive director of What's the Score is Liz Colburn.
I've been your game master, Josh Scheibe.
And I've been your host, Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for listening in. We'll see you next time on What's the Score.